Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now, and I really appreciate you taking your time tuning into my video. I apologize for not making any videos the past 3 days, but for most of the time I was on grandpa duty. But now I'm back to making videos again. And as always, I appreciate everybody's support. You guys are always crushing it, liking, sharing, and subscribing, and hitting those post notifications. This is no surprise, but the ATF is being sued again, this time over their ban on forced reset triggers. When President Trump had his ATF reclassify bump stocks as machine guns, it started a big avalanche of problems. After all, a bump stock doesn't change how a gun functions. It just lets people conduct that single pull of a trigger a lot faster. As a result, the ATF has started looking at other things, especially since Biden has been president, that might allow faster trigger pulls. For example, was their decision to unilaterally ban forced reset triggers. These triggers are set up so that after a pull of said trigger, it forces the trigger back into a reset position so it can be pulled again. You still have to pull the trigger yourself. Of course, you can do that a bit faster because you don't have to let up on the pressure being applied. Yet forced reset triggers don't turn firearms into machine guns, no matter what the bureaucrats say. Now the National Association for Gun Rights is filing a lawsuit against the ATF over forced reset triggers. The case against the ATF is called the National Association for Gun Rights versus Garland. It was filed in federal court in the Northern District of Texas. This action was filed in the same appellate circuit that ruled earlier this year that bump stocks are not machine guns in Cargill versus Garland. In an open letter to all federal firearms dealers in 2022, the ATF stated that they recently examined devices commonly known as forced reset triggers, or FRTs, that some of them are machine guns, as defined in the NFA, and machine guns are defined in the Gun Control Act. Rare Breed Triggers started selling the forced reset trigger in December of 2020, after having the design analyzed by multiple legal teams and firearm experts. By January 13th of 2021, the ATF had launched its efforts to have FRTs outlawed. The ATF tried to justify this by saying that multiple concerned citizens reached out to them regarding Rare Breed's FRTs. However, a FOIA request proved there was no record of a citizen ever contacting the ATF about the triggers. They are harassing our friends at Rare Breed Triggers for making perfectly legal forced reset triggers. They've seized merchandise, raided homes, and generally rained terror down on the heads of law-abiding gun owners. Let's be real for just a minute. The definition of a machine gun clearly states that it's a firearm that fires more than one round with a single pull of the trigger. It says nothing about facilitating faster trigger pulls. Regardless, forced reset triggers aren't machine guns by NFA definition. The ATF decided to classify them as such, then to go after Rare Breed triggers so aggressively is beyond troubling. But we can't look at it by itself. We have to look at it with a totality of other things the ATF has been up to, and that paints a very terrifying picture, especially some of the recent examples. We all hope that the courts recognize this is an unconstitutional overreach of executive authority and overturn the ATF's bizarre fixation on forced reset triggers. As I said earlier on in the video, we all know that forced reset triggers are not machine guns. It's just Biden's ATF unconstitutionally going after something they just don't like. And hopefully this court in Texas recognizes that, just as it did with the bump stocks. As always, I really do appreciate everybody's support with the channel. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you guys waiting for? Join the almost 60,000 strong subscribers to the 2A News Now channel. And I invite everybody back to see my next video.